Alright, my super fam, Mualani official banner as well as Kazuha is finally here as usual, and there's a lot of interesting things to be said about this because generally I'm quite surprised. And so as usual in today's video guys, we're going to be looking into some of the most important notes you want to keep in mind before you go ahead and pull on these two banner of the first phase of patch 5.0 because Natlin characters are shaping up to be very nice. And even though Holyverse is going to be giving you out pretty decent reward this time around, you know, managing your pools efficiently are always going to be the best thing for your account. Alright, first off, let's talk about Mualani. Now, I believe that you guys should have seen many of the guides out there regarding Mualani's early access at this point, because Holyverse seems to have given some of the guide maker out there early access to, you know, Natlin's experience. However, here's going to be my saying on what I see about Mualani at this point in time and say whether or not I think she's going to be a good character for you to pull. Like overall especially, I think Mualani is more going to be a preference character if you're looking into the meta-wise, obviously. Since of course she's a Hydro character and Hydro elements have already got so many good 5-star character out there. So yeah, Mualani is definitely in for a lot of competition. However, in terms of her gameplay style, I think she's one of the better character out there in terms of gameplay, and I think I prefer her gameplay a lot. It seems very fun, you know, serving on a shark. Now obviously Mualani damage wise not something to laugh about because she is on the higher scale of the spectrum. Obviously I think more or less the damage is going to be on the A tier if we're looking into a Genshin Impact tier list. And then of course looking into a character, you have to think about you know, your specific team building here as well. And Mualani is a character that's pretty much going to be in the Vaporize team. I don't think she has much other position in any other team. Otherwise her damage is going to be a lot lower, for she's a character that does pretty much nuke damage. So Vaporize reactions is absolutely a must whenever you're doing a team building for Mualani. So it's kind of like a restriction when you're looking into Mualani at this point. So that's about her meta level. However, when it comes to Natlin character, there is another consideration we should usually make. It's going to be their exploration capabilities, and Holyverse is marketing a lot towards that for Natlin character. I think it's a new cool ability that a character has because Genshin Impact has always been bad when it comes to, you know, character having good traversing capabilities, right? Because exploration is just so slow. Obviously before Natlin we don't really have many characters in terms of that. So as I see, Mualani is going to be a character that helps you traverse a lot easier when it comes to, you know, water traveling or, you know, liquid type traveling, because it seems as though she can actually travel on lava, which can help your experience in Natlin a lot better. Now still, even though Natlin character have those kind of ability, I still don't think it's actually enough to justify, you know, you pulling for a specific character. And once again, it's more or less just going to be a bonus kind of thing whenever you pull for them. So once again, it's more going to be a preference for Mualani. I still think that is always going to be the case. If you really love her design, her gameplay, her, you know, personality, if you played the new Natlin story quest, then yeah, I think she's going to be a fit for you. And as for many, you know, her lively characteristic out there, I feel that she's going to be a very fitting character for many of us to pull. As for Kazuha, obviously once again, my saying will still stay the same. Kazuha is pretty much a pretty important character for any of the accounts that is, you know, striving to get all of the Primogems when it comes to the Abyss. Obviously now the Abyss isn't really too much of a content because it's only once a month nowadays, though this is still a pretty decent way of you getting free Primogems. And yes, Kazuha is still going to be there, very important, especially when it comes to teammate on a Mualani team, for example, because yeah, Mualani would definitely love to have a Kazuha on her team as well. So obviously if you really haven't got to these characters, it's going to be quite hard for you to pull for both, though if you do get lucky, I really wish you good luck on that. Now with that, let's look into the banner of Mualani and Kazuha. And this time around we are seeing Bennett, Xinyan and Kachina. Now, we already know that Kachina is going to be here, so not a surprise, but man, what's Bennett and Xinyan doing here? I mean, while Xinyan hasn't been back for quite some time, and yeah, if you really want it, Xinyan can be on Mualani team because she has decent shielding, right? She can have access to off-field pyro application, especially when you have a constellation. So constellation is kind of like a must-have for Xinyan. But like honestly, that's just kind of like me trying to find a saving grace for Xinyan because you're probably not going to be using her. So right, I'm really sorry about Xinyan fans. We're probably not going to be using you anytime soon. But Bennett here is a good case, right? Bennett is always an important character, though most of the time you're just going to be needing him to be at a C1. Other than that, a C6 a pretty decent case for Bennett, because if you're using Arlecchino or other Pyro DPS character, or later on especially who knows, maybe, you know, the Pyro Archon might find a C6 Bennett helpful. So him being here at this point is going to be a very important time if you are focusing on a Pyro DPS character. So because who knows when he's going to be back, though surprisingly he has just been here since Alakino, so Whole Universe is making an exception for him to be here for the banner to actually at least be good. Because while Kachina and Sinjar, you're probably not going to use them unless you really like Kachina, because Kachina kit I don't think is really that spicy. Whole Universe is just giving you a Kachina for free, so you can experience, you know, the traverse ability of Kachina at this point in time. Other than that, it's just going to be Bennett, and with me wishing you good luck on getting, you know, the 5-star of your choice early so you don't have to waste a lot of your pools. Well, other than that, is importantly going to be their specific weapon. Now for Mualani weapons, obviously it's going to be her best in slot because yeah, look at the crit damage, is very good. Like the passive, she can use it every single time. So overall her damage is going to be very nice if you do have her signature. Interestingly, Mualani has very good free-to-play options other than that as well, because the craftable free-to-play options of Natlin is going to be very well suitable for her. So if you're not really looking too much into investing for Mualani, then you can actually save quite a lot, even though the pity counter for weapon has now, you know, reduced significantly. Though a decent consideration alongside with that is going to be the Freedom Swarm. Freedom Swarm has still been good of a sort, especially for Kazuha. Very nice design as well, and can potentially use on a number of characters, not too many, but it's mostly just going to be more of you getting a Kazuha a pretty decent buff to his EM, as well as supporting capability, because this sword has decently good support capability out there in the game. So overall, if you decide to pull in this weapon and you lose your 50-50, potentially losing to either a Mualani weapon or a Freedom Sworn, then it is not too bad of a weapon banner, because in any cases you probably would be able to find some use, even though they are not going to be specifically used on your specific character. Other than that, the 4-star option wise is actually not too bad as well, because you have the Favonius series, the Favonius sword, Favonius claymore, though you probably not going to be using it that much. Stack Fragment is still very good because it gives you a ton of EM. Stringless is also a very good bow, and then the Dragon's Bane, even though most of the time you're probably not going to use it nowadays, but if you do want character that uses a lot of EM, then overall the 4-star weapon here isn't that bad. The worst one is probably just going to be the Favonius Claymore, and when a Favonius weapon series is a worse weapon that you can probably get, I think this is one of a worth it weapon banner for you to go for. Now moving on, let's discuss a little bit about future characters, because Whole Universe has already teased patch 5.1 character, and that's going to be Zillinan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but my oh my, she hot, oh my god. So obviously we don't have much information exactly about her kit at this point, but we know that she's going to be a Geo character, and rumor has that she's going to be a very good Geo character at that, so hopefully she is, though we haven't met her yet, so we don't know her personality exactly. But I probably, for me, I'm just going to be pulling for Mualani and then save all the way to Zillinan, and hopefully Whole Universe is not going to be messing up too much Geo character this time around, because poor Chiori last time. But from all of the rumor out there, I think Zillinan is going to be having a pretty bright future. Now obviously that's going to be an extra 3 rerun character coming in patch 5.1 as well. We don't know exactly who's going to be yet, but on top of that list, the character that I do have in mind is going to be Shanhe, because while I don't remember when we last seen her, Whole Universe gave us her new outfit all the way since Lantern, right at the start of this year, and those of you who went for her outfit without Shanhe already has to wait almost a whole year without getting to try it on. I don't know what kind of marketing strategy was that, but maybe Shanhe has a very high chance because we're looking into a 3-character rerun. Other than that, I don't know exactly who's going to be, but yeah, on top of the second phase banner, which is going to be Kinich as well as Raiden Shogun, and patch 5.2 is most likely going to be the Pyro Archon coming, there are going to be a lot of Primo Gems considerations. So yes, you guys really have to think about it with your Primo Gems usage as usual, especially at the very start of a new region. But once again, if you guys do have any questions, leave it down in the comment section, and I or some other lovely Genshin Impact player will definitely get to you there. Other than that, the free 5-star standard character event is going to be here at the moment Natlin comes. So if you're still on the fence and don't know which character to choose, don't forget to check out my video where I go very in depth about discussing, as I'm sure it's going to be helping you out. I really appreciate you guys staying with me to this part of the video, guys, and with that I wish you a super day, and I will catch you on my next video.